Good day and welcome to the Carrier with IFTA training. My name is Andy. Today we're going to show you how to set your account up to work for IFTA, how to create your loads properly to be able to import them from your ITS dispatch into your IFTA, how to add your fuel, verify the trips, and then create your IFTA quarterly tax report. So we're going to start with going to administration. We're going to go down to preferences. And then we're going to verify a couple of things starting with the account setup, miles, and if you wish to avoid toll roads, you would put in a check mark here. And again, miles, open borders. Presently, with there being no check mark in there, the borders are closed. Okay? Then you're going to go to IFTA. You're going to put in your legal business name, doing business as, your IFTA account number, the state you're registered out of, your DOT, your MC number, if you're mass toll exempt, yes or no. And then you're going to validate empty miles on. You have 3 default settings. One on load creation for the starting location, load completion for the starting location, and load completion for the finishing location. Okay, again, these are 3 default settings, and in most cases people have it, so as soon as you go to add a truck to the load, it will bring up a suggested start location, and it is going to start with the creation of, or for starting location. Make sure you save your changes. Once you have done that, go back to your administration and set up your account with your trucks. If you have IFTA with us, you will have this column saying IFTA trucks, and it will give you the ability to add as many trucks as you want, although each truck you have for IFTA, you'll be paying for it, and you'll have this green circle with a white check mark. So you would go add a truck, you would put in your truck number, the truck type. If you wish, you can put your plate number, expiry, and a pop-up notification will come up when you go to add this truck to the list for a load, and it will let you know when the plate expiry is going to be. And then for your IFTA portion, you need to select the fuel type, being diesel, and you need to include this truck for IFTA. If you do not check here, and when you save it, you will see a red circle with a white X indicating that this truck isn't selected for IFTA. Now again, you can have unlimited trucks on your account, but you pay $5 per each truck for the IFTA. So we're going to go inside and we're just going to include this truck for IFTA and save it. Once you've saved your trucks that you're going to be doing your IFTA on, then you're going to go and start creating your loads. It is important to create your loads correctly, okay? There's 3 different types of loads you can create. A straight standard load with 1 driver, 1 pick, 1 drop, or an LTL load where you have 2 customers for billing purposes, 1 driver, and it will separate the miles from by date and time, okay? And then a 2 driver load where 1 driver picks a load up and then drops it off, and another driver takes it on from there. Okay, and that's going to account for all the miles for all the trucks. So let's start with our straight load. We're going to go inside of it briefly. And again, it is important that when you're creating your load, so if you have your shipper, you have it set in Newark, New Jersey. It's on the 21st of November at 8 a.m. You want to be using your times and dates correctly. But as soon as we add a truck to this load, I'm going to add truck number 100. We need to bring in the suggested start location. Okay? Now I picked the wrong truck for this particular load. I want one that's going to be out of, let's go with 1005. There we go. Okay, this truck, he went empty from Buffalo to Newark, New Jersey, and that brought in his suggested start location from Buffalo. I'm going to save it again. And then he went from Buffalo to Newark, New Jersey to Penetanguishene, Ontario. I'm going to run the miles. And we've got 367 empty miles and 552. For driver pay purpose, especially if you're paying them by the mile, you can put in the driver miles right here. Okay. Now we have Pro miles and we have PC miles. Okay. Pro miles are from city center to city center, and PC miles, if you're using the mailing address correctly, is going to be from the mailing address to mailing address. Okay. Save your changes. And then once the load is completed, you'll change it into completed status. And this is something you should be doing on a weekly or even a daily basis. Once that load is completed, I then can go to IFTA, import loads, select the right quarter, and then I can import that load into my IFTA. It says here, once the selected loads are imported, you will need to verify the routing and the miles are correct. Open IFTA trips, locate the appropriate truck, and verify each trip. Once you have verified that each trip is valid, you can click the verification icon for that trip. I say OK. Move that load over and into my IFTA. I go to my IFTA trips. I will select the quarter, select the truck number. Once I have selected the truck number and it brings the loads up, I will then go and run the miles. It will bring in my miles. I'm now going to go inside of the load and just confirm everything's correct. So I know I went empty from Buffalo to Newark, New Jersey, and then I went to Penetanguishene, Ontario. If I want to see the direction that the truck went, click on the pencil to the right, and this is a place in which I can edit it as well. I went New Jersey, PA, New York, and Ontario. Say I needed to add some extra miles to this. Say he went 202 miles of Ontario because he got lost. I can then save that. It will change my, oops, did I change it in the wrong place? There we go. And then I can save it. And we'll then verify my trip. Next, if you see this icon here, it says this trip starting odometer does not match the previous trip ending. Don't be so concerned about it if you have not used any starting odometer. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just following from the previous one that the auto miles have run. I double click, I copy, double click, paste, and enter. Okay, and then my next trip will start out of Penetanguishene, Ontario, with 7,163 as being the odometer. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go into our next load, and we're going to go into our two driver load. Okay, this particular load, driver, okay, so first of all we have AccuTrack Capital. The load picks up in Penetanguishene, Ontario, and goes to Miami, Florida. Now, driver number one picked it up in Penetanguishene, Ontario, and then he went to Buffalo, New York. Okay, driver number two took the load from Buffalo, New York to Miami, Florida. Okay, again, for driver miles, if you're paying the driver mile, you go over here, put in the driver miles, put in 0. You want to make sure, now I've already done this, when I added the truck, it brought in, it did not bring in, it was supposed to have brought in, let's do this again, the suggested start location. So let me just do this again. There we we go. Okay, so this driver started empty out of Buffalo and picked up in Buffalo. Okay, driver number one, let's make sure we have the suggested start location, which we don't. And let's go, which truck was out of Penetang? There we go. Okay, this truck started out of Penetang Machine, Ontario, empty, and picked up in Penetang. Okay, so we're going to save it. Again, I'm going to just quickly run the miles. So I make sure I'm paying my drivers as well. And then save. So what's going to happen is when this load is completed, I'm going to change this to completed. I am then going to go to my IFTA. I'm going to import loads, select the quarter, and there's the two loads. Okay, it's the same, but truck number one and truck number two. When I import it over to my IFTA, I then go to IFTA trips, select the quarter, look at the truck, run the miles, and what you want to see is this nice ladder effect all the way down. Penetang to Miami, Miami to Buffalo, Buffalo to Miami, Miami to Buffalo, Buffalo to Penetang, Penetang to Buffalo. Okay, you always want to see that nice ladder effect. I want to just go inside quickly to confirm that everything is correct. Now, because I have two Penetang Machine Ontario's here, is because he picked up and emptied. I don't need that, so I'm going to just delete one of them. And I'm going to make sure my miles are correct. I'm going to go inside. And he did 179 Ontario and 3 miles in New York. I'm going to say it's okay. I am going to save it. I verified the trip. And again, I'm going to just double click on this because I want to see it stay the same. And paste. And click enter. And we're all good. So I'm just going to quickly go into the other truck. Run the miles. And again, this is why you want to do this weekly. You don't want to wait till the end of the quarter and have like 30 trips to have to go in and verify or more. So again, I'm just confirming everything is correct. I'm going to delete that extra Buffalo because I don't need it in there. And I'm going to save it. And we're all good. I am going to show you one more load type, and then we're going to show you how to add your fuel. So there we go. We'll close this. The next type of load to create is an LTL load. By going up to where it says load, it can be either new active or new pending. And the difference between all of the other loads is on an LTL load, it will give you the ability to add multiple customers to the load edit page. So you get customer number one, and then you get customer number two, etc. Okay? What is going to sequence the correctness of the loads and how, so if I picked up in Mississauga, went to Concord and went to London, there's my 3 pickups. It's going to keep my nice ladder effect by time and date. And then my delivery, it could be my first one could be delivered from the London pickup, could deliver first, could deliver second, could deliver third. When I'm doing my consignees, again, what sequences the correctness of the load is your times and your dates. Make sure you enter them in correctly to keep the sequence right. So let's exit out of this load, and we're going to quickly go into the one that I've already created. It's only slow because we have a little bit of a delay going on right at the moment. Okay, so now we have customer number one and customer number two. Okay. So I'm going to, again, I don't believe, okay, so this one, in order to save it, I had to put something fictitious in there. We are going to go to truck 120. Say he emptied. Oh, I've already created that load. I got to find another truck here. Oh, it's terrible. I forget which truck did what load here. Oh, I know what it is. 1006. There we go. This truck emptied on October 15th in Buffalo. So I'm going to select the Buffalo. Make sure it is in there. Okay, so we have October 15th in Buffalo. He picked up in Penetangwisheen, Ontario on the 16th at 6 a.m. And then he picked up in Aurelia on the 16th at 12:30 p.m. He delivered on the 22nd at 4 a.m. in Long Beach, California. And then the same place in Long Beach, California on the 22nd at 6:45 a.m. Okay, so we've already run the miles. And again, for the purpose of your IFTA and driver pay, you need to do these as an LTL load. We're going to just quickly complete these loads so that we can import them. I'll show you one more time on an import. Some of the trips have a notification pop up to send to the customer. So now we're going to go to IFTA, import loads, select again the quarter, select import, whoops, there we go. And then we're going to go select import, and then we're going to go back to IFTA, IFTA trips, select again the quarter, select your truck number, got to find the right truck number again. That's 1006. Then I'm going to run my miles. And if you notice, after the miles are run, there's a green U-turn arrow. And what this is indicating is I didn't pick the right suggested start location. So now it's saying get the starting point automatically, okay? So what it should have been is Penetangwisheen, Ontario is where the trip started, not Buffalo. Okay, so I am going to just delete that, saving me from having to do it twice. And there we go. We are going to run. Now, because I dropped off twice. There we go. Save it. And I'm going to rerun the miles here. There we go. So I verified the trip. I'm going to copy the end odometer, run, paste, and enter. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is show you where you can add your fuel. There's two places. You can add it into the load itself or here under IFTA Fuel Entry. You would select your quarter and then select your truck number and start entering your fuel. Okay, so we're going to just go add a line and we're going to say on the November, say 15th, and put in the receipt number. then going to put in the station. Okay, we're going to select the state or province. In this case, I'm going to buy some Ontario fuel. And say I'm going to put 800 liters on. And then your value. Now, if you don't know the value, you can just put 0. But if you have the value as well, you can put it in and save. As simple as that. Okay, and then add a line for your next one, go into your next truck, and then continue on adding your fuel. Once you've added the fuel, you can then go to your IFTA quarterly report, and you can run an IFTA quarterly report. Now we're going to select quarter 3 because that quarter is already done. Click on generate, and here is telling me there are 1 loads that are unaccounted for. I had deleted a load, 5437, and I know I deleted that because it is incorrectly put in there. Next, it says you are about to generate an IFTA quarterly tax report. Please take the time to carefully reveal all fields and ensure everything is completed to the best of your knowledge. By continuing, you accept the full responsibility of the validity of the miles entered, fuel receipts entered, and the correctness of the IFTA form being generated, and the accuracy of each total dollar value. Do you wish to continue? We're going to say OK. Then it says, please, whoops. In here it says, please ensure there is a default fuel type for truck 1616. Okay, so I'm going to say OK here. I'm going to go back into that truck before I print my report, and I will add the fuel type. So it's letting me know when I created that truck, I didn't select a fuel type. Okay, so once you've done all that, then go back into your IFTA quarterly tax report, and you're going to bring it up. And we're just waiting for the printout PDF to come up. And once it comes up, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, now this is a Florida IFTA tax return. Okay, so I've got my business name in here, my IFTA number. I'm seeing that I've done 26,247 miles. I've put in 3,518 gallons of fuel, and my average fuel mileage is 7.46 miles per gallon. Now this is kind of high. It could flag an audit. You want to make sure that you've added all the fuel to your trips and that the trips are right. So you do want to go through the report. You can read it. It'll show you how to fill it out. And as well, you're just going to look at your miles. So you're going to just kind of confirm, well, Florida, that looks right. You're going to make sure that there's nothing missing. Like, well, all of a sudden here, there's no Kentucky miles. And say in your mind, you know you've run through Kentucky, or you've even bought fuel for Kentucky, but there's no miles. So it's telling you there's something wrong here, okay? So look at your forms, make sure everything is correct. And if everything is good, you're just going to go up to the top left-hand corner. You're going to click on the printer, print it off, and you can send it in. So this is your IFTA quarterly tax report, and you can print it as many times as you want. Okay, so you can go back inside and fix whatever might need to be fixed. And we're going to show you another form that we have. It's called a road use report. This is going to cover you for the 4 states that are not covered for under the IFTA. Okay, you have to file these separately. And they are New York, New Mexico, Kentucky, and Oregon. And again, this report is just for your own purpose. Once it comes up here, we're going to show it to you. Okay, and this is for your own purpose. Okay, so none of this really means anything as far as your business name and information up there, but it's going to show you all the trucks, their plate numbers, their gross vehicle weights if you had have added it. It's going to show you how many miles you've done in New Mexico, New York, Oregon, or Kentucky. And it's going to break it down by each truck and then give you a total. So here in this case, We've done a total of 7,127 miles for New York, so we'll file that separately with New York. Some of these states you can file online, and then the others by the documents in which they send to you. Okay, so that's how you do your road use report for the 4 states that you need to file separately. We have as well created another form in here, and which is called your monthly mileage report. And this here will break it down into an Excel spreadsheet, giving you the abilities to see each truck separately on an Excel spreadsheet. And once it populates here, again, it's going to bring it up as an Excel spreadsheet. And it's going to look like this. There we go. Okay, so this here is for the month of November, showing you all of truck number 100, 1005, 1007, 1234, etc. So I've done 100 miles, or 100 miles, excuse me, 1,380, sorry, 1,038 in Florida, 470 in Georgia, 199 in Kentucky, etc. all the way down. All right, we're going to exit out of there. And what we're going to do as well, we're going to show you where you can help yourself if you need it. You can go to the training videos, or you can sign up for the online training sessions. By clicking on the online training sessions, you would click here and you would sign yourself up for a training session if you so wish to do so. And 10 minutes prior to the hour, you will receive an email with a site to click on and a phone number to call, and you can sit in with the other participants and listen to another carrier with IFTA training, or any of the other trainings that we do have. Or you can go to the help, training videos, and you can watch the training videos of your choice as well. Okay, if you guys need any further assistance, feel free to give us a call here at 888-338-9656, extension 126 for Andy, 124 for Dave, or 127 for Tal, and we'd be glad to help you. Or you can go to the live chat at the top right hand corner, click on your live chat, and you can submit your questions up in the live chat, and we'll be glad to try to help you out. I'd like to thank you for participating in the Carry